Whenever I start a painting, I sketch out the scenery onto the canvas. This keeps me on track and leads me while painting. In my studio paintings, I start painting from farthest to nearest. The farthest object is the sky, obviously. I use titanium white, a tiny bit of ultramarine deep, and a touch of burnt sienna to get a really bright sky color. I add the indication of clouds as a reminder with a slightly lighter version of the same color. My brush strokes follow the direction of the clouds and the shapes of the landscape. The mountains are mixed by the same colors, but it is a darker version. The nearer the mountains, the darker the mix gets, and it shifts slightly more into green by adding cadmium yellow. As you may see, I reuse the old brush and do not remove the old paint. This helps to create consistency in the color scheme. The lake is a mix of ultramarine deep, titanium white, and a touch of turquoise. It becomes lighter as it comes forward. Now I paint in the rocks, starting with the darkest areas. This is a mix of burnt sienna, ultramarine deep, and just a touch of titanium white. The submerged rocks are the same mix, but I add more titanium white and a touch of cadmium yellow. Try to give every rock a unique look. This helps to improve realism. I fill in the gaps with yellow-brownish color. This creates the illusion of structures and shapes under the water surface. After laying out the base colors in the first layer, I start the second one. This is for adjusting colors and reshaping forms if needed. The sky needs just a touch more color, so I applied more turquoise to the mix at the top. I reshaped the clouds to give them more structure, movement and direction that I can follow into the painting. Clouds should be fluffy and have a random form, and mine's the direction of the sun, since the edge must be brighter and more defined towards the sun. I readjust the colors of the distant hills so that they are more separating and intensify the illusion of depth. Same for the mountains and hills in the front. Add some more green here and there to create the illusion of grass and tree areas. Now I add a bright color to the rocks to give them a more distinct shape, since some areas are catching more sunlight than others. Note that colors get more intense the more the objects are forward. This means not just the tone but also the darks and the lights are more intense than in the background. It is important to paint the reflection of the sky on top of the water. I start with the clouds, since they are the brightest element. Measurement is key. Same for the hills and grass areas. Also bring in the blue of the sky color using a very thin mix and a brush that is nearly dry. Always readjust and modify if you are not satisfied by the colors or forms. All paint is so forgivable and everything can be corrected at any stage. The sky reflection must be as thin as possible in order to let the objects beneath the water surface shine through. For this, the first layers must be dry, and the brush should hold the bare minimum of paint. The final touches will bring in the illusion of 3 groups or brushes to make the painting more interesting and to break boring areas.